And something that I have been noticing a lot is that the people that end up hitting me up have been praising me, I guess you can say, for my authenticity, not putting up a gimmick, being real with you guys with what it takes to actually become a successful full-time trader, and just documenting my trading journey, showing the highs but also showing the lows. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time that you're tuning in, my name is Lewis, and all that I'm doing is documenting my trading journey. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you are hitting the notification bell as well, so you can get notified on every video that I post. I post a reel every day on my shorts, so don't miss out on that. First, I want to thank you for the amount of support we've been getting. The YouTube channel has been growing tremendously, and I'll show you that in a little bit, as well as the Instagram. We just hit 1,600 followers on Instagram, so thank you so much for that. I couldn't really be in the position that I'm in without you and without God, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Yeah, if you want to see my live executions, make sure that you follow me on Instagram, because I post my live executions on Instagram, obviously a little bit sped up, but you get my live executions. If you want to see me trading live, make sure you check out my premium Discord, where I am doing now every Tuesday. I'm going live for my premium, and then if you guys want more, we'll talk about it more, and then I can set something up where I could have more days. But right now I'm just testing it out for my premium, so they get that live trading. If you know, we'll talk about everything with the Discord once we get to the Discord. But yeah, apart from that, I know you already read the title and saw the thumbnail of this video, so we're gonna get into a very serious conversation in this video, and then we'll talk about every trade that I took this week as well. Yeah, let's not waste any more time. If I missed anything, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend who is also on their trading journey. Let me know down in the comments how your trading journey is going. That's about it right now. Let's just head into the sponsor of this video, the Discord, and then we'll talk about the YouTube channel as well. All right, now we are in the sponsor of this video, which is Tektronix.com. As you can see right here, if you use the discount code LVFLIP, you get 10% off. Make sure you take advantage of their free shipping and their 1-year warranty. They're updating constantly their Nova Strike collection, as you can see there. Like I said, if you're looking to build a PC or have them build you a PC with the best available parts in the market, never a bad choice to go with Tektronix.com. I just got an upgrade on RAM and my case on my PC, so please make sure you go and show some love. Let them know you're coming from the Lewis Visuals YouTube channel. Follow them on Instagram. Like I said, if you hit shop now, you'll get brought into the futures setup LVFLIP. This is the best bang for your buck setup in my opinion, and it's the one that I chose them to represent me, honestly, because this setup is very good for whatever you have to do, whether it's content creation, just trading in general, you know, 3D work, anything else, live streaming. You could do it with this PC. As you can see, we have very good specs here. You can see everything, and like I said, this is actually the same case that I have on my computer. So yeah, I love it. Extremely bright with these LEDs everywhere, and I know that most people just like and enjoy seeing their computer with a lot of LEDs, but either way, something new that they ended up adding was more payment options. If you go to your cart and you added something to your cart, once you go to checkout, don't forget to use that LVFLIP for 10% off. You can pay in installments, as you can see right here, with Zip, and that they just added that recently. As you can see, once you add the LVFLIP discount, you actually save $130. That's not bad at all, honestly. So this is what you can get for your total setup. Not bad at all. Please make sure you use that and take advantage of it. Like I said, you could go in here and check out all their other collections. The website is down in the description, so please take advantage of it. Now let's head into my Discord. Now this is my trading Discord. We just hit about 110. I think we have 111. We have somebody just joined recently, but as you can see, we've been very active in here, so I am extremely thankful for everybody who's been active. I am trying to build the best community possible with the most amount of people who are actually engaged and want to have the same mentality and grow as traders, but also as people in general. And like, as you can see right here, we got somebody from Italy. I know we have somebody from Lebanon in one of the live streams that I did last week. So it's crazy the amount of reach that we've had in this group chat and the amount of value that we have been providing. If you want to join the premium and have access to all of this stuff right here, which is the premium chat, the trade breakdowns, the gym chat, and also the weekly calls where we have a weekly live stream, make sure you go down to where it says join premium. And if you need testimonials, you hit this in here. Some stuff that I added new was accomplishments. We have a couple people in here throwing up their funded traders. I believe we have a lot more traders who are funded. They just haven't posted their stuff in there. Like I said, we have been growing tremendously. We just hit 1,600 on Instagram, and then just hit 1,250 on YouTube, and then today we hit 1,260 on YouTube. So thank you so much for that. I couldn't be more grateful for your support. Once again, if you want to join the Discord, it is down in the description, and also on my Instagram. All that I ask is that you're active and you talk about trading, bring some good energy, and that's about it. Apart from that, if you want to join my one-on-one calls, is also under the join premium. Check it out, and there you'll get all the information you need to be coached by me and learn how to read the market. So like I said before, if you want testimonials, just go into my testimonials and you'll see my students in here and stuff that I've posted as well. Let's head into the YouTube channel real quick. just so we could talk about it. As you can see here, we've been doing very well. Thank you so much for 1261 subscribers on YouTube. I don't want to talk too much about this. I am just extremely grateful, and we keep track of it, and it's working. So thank you so much for the amount of support. The newest video has been doing very well. I'm wondering if that's from the thumbnails, but I'm going to continue to make the thumbnails like that because it's obviously working. Apart from that, let's head into this video and let's get real. Let's get real as it can be on YouTube, honestly. All right, now we are in the charts. This is what the week ended up looking like. We had a Tuesday high week on NQ all the way down to a Friday low. And before we get into the charts, let's talk about what I had to say in the title and in the thumbnail of this video. And something that I have been noticing a lot is that the people that end up hitting me up have been praising me, I guess you can say, for my authenticity, not putting up a gimmick, being real with you guys with what it takes to actually become a successful full-time trader, and just documenting my trading journey, showing the highs but also showing the lows. And that's something that I pride myself on and that I'm always going to continue to do no matter what. I don't care how big and famous I get. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going through when it comes to the charts and my trading. And obviously, if you've been here from the start, you've seen my growth, you see my development, and I say that has a lot to do with my journaling first and foremost, and also from God, honestly, just learning from every mistake that I've ever made. But one thing that I do want to point out is that you have to be extremely aware, not only in the moment but obviously after, to then come back and reflect on what ended up happening and fix it. But you have to be extremely aware of your mistakes. Everybody's mistakes are different because we are all different people. I think my problem honestly is over trading, especially on micros. On minis, I actually noticed that since it's such a big contract, if I took an L, I would take one trade for the day and I'm done. I'll step away from the charge just because I don't want to lose more than, for example, $500, $600 on one trade, right? But the wins are huge. The wins are like 1,000 plus with minis. With micros, I catch myself, just because it's a smaller amount, like subconsciously think it's okay to hop in another trade and hop in another trade until I get a win. And then the win ends up not being as much as it should be because I already ate into my profits while taking a bunch of bad losses. And a lot of that has to do with impatience. I do think that sometimes I think the market is going to leave without me, and I feel that FOMO, and I'm working on it. Trust me, I am. And I think this week really smacked me and like, well, wake up, like really hit me. Obviously I knew it before, but if you've been trading for a while, you know what I'm talking about. That thing where like, you know, you're doing something wrong and you keep on doing it wrong until you're like, I'm tired of doing this, I'm not going to do it anymore. And I think I'm at that point, and I'm going to try very hard to do it next week because it will force me to take better entries at the correct times, because timing is so important in trading. Time before price all the time, because you could have the correct entry, but especially us, and I'll say me as a ICT trader, and I know there's a lot of stigma to that, but I don't really care. I know what I'm doing, and I'm continually getting better as a trader, and that's what you should do, honestly. And all strategies work. I just say that, you pick one and stick to it no matter what. So I try to be extremely accurate with losing the smallest amount, and that is a good thing. That's not a bad thing. That is a very good thing. I try to be extremely accurate on my entries so I get the best entry possible, and I can't get past it. Like, yeah, a winning trade is a winning trade, but I like to have my entries in very safe spots because it's the start of the move, and if you are correct, then no retracement is really gonna bother you because you got the best entry possible. Obviously that comes with having tight stops, and not extremely tight. I don't have like extremely tight stops, but sometimes I get into the move at the wrong time and end up getting like swept one more time, and then it goes, or I contradict myself. Contradicting myself is a very big problem that I have, but I'm just gonna stick to my original bias and then just go with it until I get, oh, this is an invalidation level, your idea is completely wrong, all right, step away. It's okay to take losses. And I've noticed, like with minis, like I said, I would just step away after one loss, be like, okay, I'm calling it a day. That's it. That's basically all the capital that I have allocated for this very specific day. I'll come back tomorrow with a clear mind. In minis, I'll take I'll take two losses and then still be like, okay, I'm gonna hop in again just because I haven't lost $500. And I don't think that's okay. And I'll explain everything in the actual trades, because I didn't have a horrible week, but my money management wasn't the best just because of over trading. And I'll talk about everything and be as real as I can, so please stay till the end because I'm gonna get very real in this video. Now let's hop into the trades of this week and straight into Monday the 24th. Now coming into the week, I was bullish. I was very bullish, especially how we closed on Friday. I wanted us to target the previous week high, which is this buy side liquidity level up here, and saw that we gapped up. So I wanted to see, okay, what are we gonna do? Are we either gonna come back inside of this gap and then go up, or are we going to just continue to rise? Based on how we closed on Friday and then the price action we had Sunday night coming into Monday, I was bullish. So I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. For some reason, I kept on contradicting myself, and it was in a bad way. So I would enter long, then I'll be like, no, and then I'll close the trade. Literally, I'm not even playing around. This is exactly what I did. I enter long, contradicted myself, closed it. Enter short, contradicted myself, closed it. Enter long, contradicted myself, closed it. I think I did that about 3 times and lost like $150. Just like losing $50 back to back to back. Until I was like, what am I doing? Like, stop doing this. I stopped. So I'm already down $150. This trade hasn't even played out. Then I stop. I'm like, what is happening? Okay, what is price really doing? So I go look at ES. I'm bullish already. I have a bullish bias. That previous week high is my draw on liquidity. So I'm looking for the manipulation. And as you can see here, we get the manipulation at 9:30 exactly. And I got my entry basically bottom tick. Obviously, you know, it's not really bottom tick, but you know what I mean. Very good entry. Best entry of the day, honestly, apart from maybe the news candle that opened. You could have got another entry in there, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. So you can't really see it, but it was a 1 hour SMT. I'll show you here so it's not confusing. All right, so here we are. My model, you already know what it is. Honestly, we have a SMT turtle soup. As you can see here, this candle at 7 is this candle, or they're both the same candle. I noticed that ES came lower and took out both the 8 o'clock candle low and the 7 o'clock candle low, and NQ only took out the 8 o'clock low and created that SMT. We came into this order block on the 1 hour on ES, never tapped it on NQ. So I'm like, okay, this is the manipulation move. They're gonna boom. Obviously, we are close to the target, so I was anticipating a kiss of death. And a kiss of death, for those of you who don't know, is when the market just runs extremely fast to the draw on liquidity, and that's exactly what ended up happening here on Monday. I'll show you one more time on the lower time frames because I did enter on the 1 minute, and if you want to see this live execution, check it out on my Instagram because it is on there. So we come in here, we SMT, we have one turtle soup of that 8 o'clock candle, boom, and then at this point I'm like, okay, I might have missed the trade, and then I end up doing that stupid stuff that I said, shorting and getting out, longing and getting out, shorting and getting out, and then I got out one last time and I was like, wait, what is happening? I see this, I see them soup one more time, I'm like, okay, they're going now. I got in right there. This is my actual fill, had my stop below the SMT low, and I was targeting the high, and I ended up getting out, if I'm not mistaken, on this candle or somewhere over here. I think it was this candle at 1024. Yes, once we got up above this, I got out with about $400 profit, but I lost 150. So I really made like $200 on this day, and you'll see why this is important once we get to Friday. So please stay to the end of this video. Either way, that is the trade that I took. I was targeting that buy side liquidity to see what would end up happening. Now let's move on to Tuesday. Now on Tuesday, I know a lot of people who trade Top Step experience what I experienced, and I'm kind of glad because I was more lopsided on Tuesday. I didn't know really what was going to end up happening until I saw this opportunity to go long and realized what ended up happening at the lows. So I was like, okay, we're bullish. But with Top Step on Tuesday, I don't know if there was a problem with their servers or something, but they like no execution, that you wouldn't even be able to log in. And it's funny because I logged in, I try to pray, I think I placed a long or something like that, then it logged me out and I'm like, what is happening? And then it wouldn't show the actual execution on my trading view. I'm like, okay, am I on a trade or not? I thought I saw it, you know, execute the trade, and then I go on Trade Evade and I see that I have the long running and I'm down $90. So I was like, you know, I closed it as fast as I could, but I lost the $90. I didn't want to enter another trade. I was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna do a mistake that I've done before, which is trade on Trade Evade when I don't know how the platform actually works, and then end up making a mistake by accident and losing even more money. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna trade on demo. So I ended up taking this trade here on demo, and I posted the execution. And in the video, if you go into my caption, you'll see it says this is a demo trade. I don't lie about it, but I took this long here. It was a 6R, and I was targeting what is it, I think this high right here. Yep, this high from a couple weeks ago. Now, why was I bullish at this point? We come lower, and if you take the range at the moment after taking out that buy side liquidity, it was right here. If you see, if you bring it out, we drop below equilibrium, right? We are now at a discount, and we had a turtle soup SMT, and I'll show you the SMT as well. I believe it was on the 1 hour. So as you can see here, if I zoom in, this 10 o'clock candle on ES ended up taking sell side liquidity and making a lower low on ES, and on NQ it made a higher low. That confirmed bullishness for me. But like I said, I wasn't really paying attention because I was trying to figure out what was going on with my chart or with Top Step, and then I got the right information. I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna trade today. I came back and had already missed this move, which was the better entry down here with the actual SMT. I'll go on the 1 minute because I took this trade on the 1 minute on Tuesday. You can see the execution on my Instagram Instagram, but here we are. All right, we have the SMT below these lows. If you go on the 1 minute, you can see as well on Tuesday that there was an SMT below these lows on the 1 minute. So honestly, if I was bullish coming off from the start, like, and I was actually paying attention to the charts, I would have seen, because there was an SMT at the highs to move lower and an SMT at the lows. Which one is the more probable one? It's the one at the lows, because price was bullish at that moment. We end up having that SMT there. Best entry would have probably been like after we inverse this 1 minute gap, take an entry there, stop at the low, which is the protected low, and target whatever you were targeting. Honestly, would have targeted here and then that other level later on to see if you got there. Then I seen this and I took it. I seen this down close candle and I saw that we had already manipulated for the 10 o'clock candle, so there's no point of them coming down again. I thought maybe we could come down into this fair value gap, but I was willing to take my chances here. I saw this down close candle form. After the down close candle formed and then it came back into it, I took this entry here. My stop originally was below these lows, I believe, right here. After we kept chopping and chopping and chopping, I said, okay, this is an order block, because every time we tap it, we move up, and we kept doing it. So then I moved right below the order block. I have this marked out, but you can see it here. I have this OB, and you can see this in my actual execution video on my Instagram at Lewis Visuals. Go check it out. I took that entry there, and then I got out up here. It was about a $400 trade, and I would have got a dub on Tuesday if I was able to log into my account. So at this point, I would have been up like $600 for the week. I'm only up to about 200 just because of Monday, but I couldn't trade this unless I traded on TradingView, and I don't want to make a mistake that I've done before, which is take the wrong trade on the wrong instrument by accident, and then you end up losing a bunch of money. But yeah, that's what happened on Tuesday. Now let's move on to Wednesday. Wednesday, I was bearish. There's nothing that anybody could tell me on Wednesday. I was bearish, and this is the actual trade that I took right here. It's a 5R, and obviously I'll explain everything, but we had a daily SMT with us taking out this high up here from Tuesday. Then I come in and we have an SMT again here from the London session. I'm already looking at the higher time frame, like the weekly. If you look at the weekly, it was pointing bearish. You can look at the weekly in your own charts. I don't have to do it for you. Look at the weekly, you'll see pointing bearish the whole time. After Tuesday, after like Wednesday, I should have just been bearish the whole time, and I'll explain what ended up happening. But this is the actual trade that I took right here. I'll show you on the 1 minute. This beauty I actually did take. This is my actual entry, my actual fill. Everything is good. I have the video on my Instagram. Go and check it out. But what did I do? I didn't wait for my model, because I saw the SMTs and there was a 4-hour SMT as well. I was like, they're probably just gonna dump at the open. So at the open, they manipulate higher, and I take it short, like right here, somewhere around here. After this candle, take it short. It goes down. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Then it comes up, stops me out. I'm like, okay, take a short here. And then it comes back up, takes me out again. So I've already lost about one something. I don't remember exactly how much I lost, but I lost something like that. Then I take this beauty, take it with 2 contracts, and this was the correct time to take the shorts. Not here, not here. After we SMT'd. Now, what is the SMT? Go here and I'll show you the SMT. I don't know if it was on the 1 hour. Is it? As you can see, very clear SMT here. This candle at 9 took out all the buy side liquidity up here. This one failure swinged, as you can see there. So that is the SMT. And once I noticed the SMT, I'm like, okay, now it is time to go. I should have just waited. I had to be more patient, and it's messing me up. Like I said, I lost however much I lost. It was like $100 to $200. Then I ended up making $400 on this, but in all reality, I only banked $200. So from Monday to Wednesday, obviously Tuesday I couldn't trade because it wasn't letting me log in. I've only made about $400. Stick with me. By the way, I ended up taking this banger and I got out here. I honestly should have left it running a little bit longer, because as you can see, we ended up dumping all the way down to the gap, but that's okay. I'll take my piece of the buy and I'll go on my way. But like I said, I should have left it run. I should have left it run, because this is a crazy move. That would have been a crazy move to catch all the way down to this low. But that's besides the point. Let's get into the next few days, because that's when the real problems start. And I have this issue where I have a good Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursdays are so and so. I have good Thursdays and I have bad Thursdays, and then Fridays I have good Fridays and bad Fridays. But to be candid and real, first 3 days of the week, I'm an amazing trader. Very good discipline. Not this week. I didn't have very good discipline on my first few trades, but I'm usually good. I win most of the time. I win on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Mess everything up just from contradicting myself. So I have to stop contradicting myself. I have to stop taking trades at the incorrect time, so that I don't end up first losing and then getting a win and eating into my profits. All I have to do is just wait, and then once I see it, take the trade. Forget the FOMO. If it doesn't happen, you don't take a trade that day. That's about it. And that's as honest as it gets. And I know I say this every time, but in the moment I have to become very aware. So I'm gonna do an exercise this weekend, and maybe I'll talk about it in my premium. So join the premium. Thursday, not mad at the trade I took on Thursday. Thursday was actually a little bit more, crazy than I thought, but it was basically a reversal Thursday for a not a reversal, but more of a retracement. And as you can see right here is marked. I took it short, and you can see it on my Instagram as well. I was up a little bit. I was up about $200 on the short I took on Thursday, and then the prices reversed on me, right? We end up forming an SMT here. It was a 15-minute SMT, so maybe that's why, you know, I shouldn't have taken it, but we end up taking it. We have this, and then I take a short from, I forget where. I think, oh, it was right here. Once this big candle happens, I take a short here. Boom, take a short there. Down here, I'm up $200 or so. So 2 contracts, each contract worth 100, and then we start to move up, and then bullish structure, right? So then what do? I take another short, bullish structure, take another short. I'm like, what is happening? Why is price going up, right? We hit the new week opening gap, bounced off of it, respected it, and then started to move higher, right? So I should have been looking for longs after I got stopped out, because we have now been respecting bullish order flow. We respected that down close candle. We have a lot of generated buy side liquidity. We are now respecting down close candles and pushing through highs, rejecting lows. That's telling me we're bullish. I should have been like, okay, step away or take a long. Could have took long here because I got stopped out like right here. I could have just waited, boom, came back down, fair value gap, boom, take that long. Okay, we just took sell side liquidity too, so makes sense. But I end up losing $400 on this day after that because I kept taking shorts, right? And it's one thing to marry your bias, then, you know, get stopped out and then it goes in your favor, but it's one thing to just marry your bias and just keep getting told you're wrong and you're wrong and you're wrong and end up losing all the profit you just made at the beginning of the week. So in reality, let me paint a picture for you. Monday, let's say I just took that one winning trade, would have been up $400 just on Monday. Tuesday, obviously I couldn't log in, so I can't be mad at it. Would have been up about another $400, so I would have been up $800 just Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, let's say I didn't lose the first trades, would have been up another $400. I would have been up at this point $1,200 on the week, and then I have a day like this and I lose $400. I would have still been up $800 on the week. But let's be real here, it didn't happen that way. So I'm up $200 from Monday because obviously I lost and then I won. Right? Didn't get to trade on Tuesday on my account. That doesn't work, doesn't count. So I'm up $200 by Tuesday. Wednesday comes around, I'm up another $200, so I'm up about $400 on Tuesday. And then I come here on Thursday and blow all that money that I just made in profit on one day. Now tell me in what world that makes sense, please. And I have to be real with myself. That's horrible. That is horrible money management. It is horrible. It's over trading. It is not getting in at the right time, impulse. I need to really work on myself because this is not gonna cut it, especially now that I'm back on the funded account. I'm gonna save it till the end of the video, but please stay watching. This is not gonna cut it. It's made $400 for the week, obviously by making mistakes and still, you know, being a good trader and making some profit, and you give it right back to the market by the end of the week because you don't know how to control yourself. I could have easily took that $200 and been like, okay, all right, let's say I didn't. I could have not kept taking trades. I could have been like, okay, let me see what the market is doing. Obviously we're following bullish order flow here, and I could have even took a trade here. We came back down to this order block and this fair value gap gets respected and we push up. I could have been like, okay, no, we're bullish. Let me just wait for a good opportunity to go along and then gone long. I could have came back and made probably $400 with this after losing however much here and made at least $200. So I still would have been up for the week instead of throwing away all my money and then just being like, okay, no, I'm gonna step away now after I taken 3 trades and lost for the $400 that I had just made Monday and Tuesday. And I know I wouldn't have done that on E-mini because after one loss, I would have been like, okay, I'm wrong. I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna step away. So that is a psychological thing that I'm working on, and you have to be very honest with yourself. I know you have certain problems that might be similar and you might see it, and it could be maybe the same thing that I'm going through, but if you see it, you have to be aware of it, and I have to be aware of it as well. And I'm not gonna hide that from you because there's no point of being fake. I don't like that, and I hate how the trading community has become this, you know, get rich quick. I mean, it's probably always been like that, but I have people try to hide the real realities of trading and all this and that. Oh, you're not profitable because of this. No, most of us are not profitable because of ourselves. We're battling ourselves if we're being honest. It's just you versus you. At the end of the day, I take very good trades, but I can't step away from the market, or I contradict myself, or I'm just wrong. It happens. Sometimes you're just wrong, but that's why you need to be able to step away from the market and stay disciplined, especially when it comes to protecting your capital. So you have to really work on this. This has to be really important. And then that leads to Friday. Friday, I could have made bank. Now, let's start. First of all, this trade I did take. Did I take it on my accounts? No. Go into my Discord, you see this. With one mini, would have made 5 bands, and it did hit. This trade hit. I was live on my live stream on Friday, and everybody who was in there saw this. Let's talk about what ended up happening. I come into the day bearish bias. Why? The weekly is bearish. What happened on Tuesday? Bearish. We're bearish as fuck. Extremely bearish. Coming into Friday, I come in and I see we're following bearish structure. Here, boom. I'm like, okay, this is bearish structure. We're clearly bearish. But I end up contradicting myself at the very last moment. So what do? Right? I'm in here and again, over trading and contradiction and time, right? I don't remember what I did, but I take a short somewhere here. I forget, after the open, take a short. I see, boom. Then we have a 30-minute SMT. So I'm like, okay, they're going to move up. I know this. They're going to move up. I know. I'm not trying to sound cocky. I'm not trying to sound like I know everything that's gonna happen, but I know they're gonna move up because we have the SMT. If I'm bearish and they move up, what is that? Let's be real. That's the manipulation leg. Obviously, I just got this discombobulated. Like my thoughts, it just left my mind. Okay, so then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna flip my bias. I enter it long and I got a bad fill. So I'm hitting the button up here to buy and it fills me in like here. So I have my stop like down here. I'm targeting up here. Does that make sense? No, we're bearish. Why would we come up here again if we already turtle swooped? So then I'm in profit. Boom, this comes up and then this down close candle happens. And I move my stop below here. They come down, take me out. Like, okay, we're bearish. Then I take it short again, being impulsive instead of just waiting. Could have waited a couple more minutes and got in a short here. Impulsive, hop in here. They come up, take me out again. I lose again. I'm like, okay, I'm done for today. I already lost $300 at that point. Now going from being up 400 Monday and Wednesday to basically being break even to now being down $300 on the week because of this. I'm not being able to wait and contradicting myself. We come up, tap the CISD. We've already had the turtle soup SMT, clearly bearish. I have a 1 hour SMT and a 30-minute SMT. What do I always say? Higher time frame holds higher power. Why am I paying attention to the 30-minute SMT? Even though it was right and moved up, that SMT was for the manipulation leg. Okay, now paying attention to the order flow. And what else? We come into OTE. So we come into OTE one last time, come up above equilibrium and just decide to just dump. And I'm like, damn, I'm watching this. I'm like, I'm gonna hop in on demo. So I'm very patient on demo. After I already lost twice, I'm like, I'm gonna stay disciplined. I'm not gonna enter again because I have a chance of losing. Honestly, if I would have entered again, I would have made $1,000 or plus. I'm like, I'm gonna be disciplined today. I'm not gonna enter again. And on demo, I'm actually patient. I don't rush in here. I don't rush in here. I don't rush in at any point. I don't rush in here again. I don't rush in. I wait. See, we come up to this 1 minute fair value gap. Take the trade at the 1 minute fair value gap. Stop above this candle at 9:54. At 10 there is news. They open up, do this, and then just decide to stomp. Straight clean ass price action. Just stop. Hit the target. And that was my Friday. If I'm being honest, but I am close to blowing this account. I am very close. I believe I'm like $300 away just because of this nonsense of over trading, getting in at the wrong time, meaning not waiting for my total setup or literally waiting for my total setup and contradicting my bias. If I have a certain daily bias, and I say this for everybody, master your daily bias, because if you master your daily bias, the manipulation is going to be so clear to you. It's not even funny. Once you master your daily bias and you see them move in the opposite direction, you're like, this is it. This is the manipulation. Now what do I wait for? An SMT. Then if you have your own total, if you have your own entry model, take the entry that you like. I have my own. I take it. Boom. It's just horrible. If I would have been able to control myself, take the right entries, be very patient, and I'm gonna try very hard next week. Trust me. Next week's video, if I'm not changing, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. But please align yourself with what your problems are and confront them. Figure out what it is. For me, I have it written down: impulse, contradiction, over trading, and impatience. Those are my problems. I'm working on them, and I'm gonna become a better trader from fixing them. But either way, thank you so much for watching this video. I don't want to, give you all this chat, all this randomness. Please make sure you subscribe. Down in the comments, let me know how your trading week went. Make sure you join my Discord. Link is down in the description. The free one and the premium. Also, one-on-ones are in there, so make sure you check it out if you want to learn how I view the markets. Check out techtronics.com for 10% off. Use LV Flip at your checkout. And yeah, be honest with yourself and become better traders. That's all that I can say. Apart from that, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.